So today we're talking about sound. We're still on our sound and light. Today we're going to specifically talk about seeing color. Okay, about seeing color. We've taken our color blindness test today to see color, but we're talking about how things work. Now, the parts of your eye, we're going to get more in depth with this tomorrow again. Okay, but the cornea is the transparent covering where light enters your eyes and causes waves to bend. Now, what do we say if a wave bends? How do we just what word do we use to describe that? Refraction. Okay, so your cornea causes some refraction. Okay, or your cornea causes some refraction. That's why your eye is shaped the way it is. Okay, to refract things in.
You tell me if we didn't have our cornea, our eyes would be like cat eyes.
Yes, I mean that kind of. After pass, I mean, there's some other steps in this which we'll get more in detail. This is just a broad way. Light then passes through your pupil. Okay, your pupil regulates the amount of light that enters. Okay, regulates the amount of light that enters. So if I turn all the lights off, what's going to happen to your pupils? They're going to get bigger and they're going to dilate. And then if I turn all the lights on, they're going to do what? Get smaller. Okay. We know that a person with a concussion, a way to test for concussion is to shine a light in their eyes. And your brain controls your eyes. Your brain controls your eyes. Yeah. Yes. I mean, your eye can dilate and you still have a concussion. It's a good sign of a concussion. Okay. You could have a concussion and your eyes still dilate. But typically, that shows that. Behind the pupil is a flexible convex lens. Okay. Is a flexible convex lens that focuses light on the retina. Okay. The retina is the inner lining of your eyes. Okay, the retina is made of. I'm going to into that here in a little bit. I think the retina is the inner lining of the eyes. That's where your nerve cells are in the eye, and it converts the image to electrical signals, which are transported to the optic nerve, and then to the optic, and then to your brain. Now, there are other parts of your eyes. Okay, that really affect things. You have to think your sclera. Your sclera is the whites of your eyes. Okay. So I think I talked about this on Tuesday or Wednesday. Don't shoot until they see the whites of your eyes. Don't shoot until they see the sclera. Your iris is the color of your eye. The iris is your color of your eye. Most people's irises are a dark color, correct? Because we want to regulate the amount of light that enters it. Your iris surrounds your pupil. Okay? So you want to regulate.
You tell me if people with blue eyes are more sensitive.
Yes. It's just like albino people. If you look at albino people, are typically known to have poor vision because if you look at their iris, it doesn't have a color.
Irish people have bad eyes because they're like completely white and have no pigment.
I mean, their eyes, not their skin, their eyes. Okay, that's why brown eyes. Brown eyes are dominant. That's why because we know that we want the light to be absorbed. Okay, so like I have brown eyes, so my iris absorbs a lot of light. It's a genetic defect. It's a genetic mutation. That's a biology question.
I have blue eyes.
If you have blue eyes, that means that your eyes simply aren't as good. They're more sensitive to light. Okay, because they reflect some light instead of absorbing more light. Okay, they reflect some light instead of absorbing some more.
If you only have blue eyes, what's the kinds of blue eyes?
No.
People with like really light blue eyes because I have the sun.
But brown is the dominant color. It's typically if one of your parents have brown eyes, you're gonna be brown eyed. But that's not always true. Like my mother has brown eyes, my brother has blue eyes.
My brother has green. My brother has brown.
Yeah, that's talking about genetics in there. We're also talking about your vitreous humor and your aqueous humor. Okay. Your aqueous humor is what?
Is that the thing that seems like
Aqueous humor. That's a part of your eye. You know about this. You know about this. You do what all the time?
Oh, cry.
Tears are your aqueous humor.
That's terrible.
Tears.
Look at me.
That's terrible. You do this all the time. They're like, oh, cry.
Tears are your aqueous humor. Okay, tears are your aqueous humor. So like people that have, like we've all seen the Visine commercial with dry eyes. Okay, what that's doing, they don't make enough aqueous humor. You also have what's called vitreous humor. Okay, your vitreous humor is is a jelly-like, it's like jelly, and it's actually what keeps your eye together. Okay, your eye is what the packing is like. I think like it's a jelly-like, so it'd be like Jello, and it's just stuff that keeps it. It's in your eye.
In your eye.
It's what separates the front of your eye, the cornea, the pupil, the back of your eye, the retina. Okay. How they do? 1 second.
I have a question about that. I feel like it would pop there.
All right, so the eye. Okay, I had something to say. We'll come back to it if I think about it. Hey, vision problems. Okay, vision problems. These are common vision problems. These are not the only vision problems. Okay, farsightedness. You can see objects in a distance, but not nearby. The focal point is behind the retina. Okay, the focal point is behind the retina. I like to think it's far behind. And convex lenses, we know convex lenses are called converging lenses, so they shorten the focal length. And they would focus it on the retina because it was behind it. Farsightedness is probably the most common thing, isn't it? I mean, you think about it, I need glasses to read, don't I? If you need reading glasses, you get older. You are typically probably farsighted.
I honestly don't know which one I am because even if I'm context up, like far away is blurry, but when I'm reading the book, I have to hold
We'll
up.
talk about that in just a second. Okay, talk about that in just a second. Now, what's another word for what's the official term for farsightedness? Hyperopia. Okay, hyperopia. Nearsightedness, you can see objects nearby but not far away. Okay, is anybody here nearsighted? That's
Like
sure. You can read but you can't see things far away. Now, going back to farsightedness, the reason why people are typically farsighted as you get older, okay, your lens gets to be less flexible. Okay, we're talking about your lens is very flexible. You asked a question a while ago about what cataracts are. Okay, cataracts are because your lens stops being so flexible. Okay.
Yeah, that's what apparently I saw my forward cataracts.
And so what they can actually do, they can go in and they can cut off your lens, cut off your cataract, okay, and put a new one in it. Okay. There's also a couple other vision problems. Glaucoma. Glaucoma is a very common one, and that's because your lens gets cloudy. Okay, glaucoma is your lens gets.
Don't they have surgery for like cleaning film off the older people's eyes?
I don't know.
I've seen that.
Now another common what you talk about is you can't see up close or far away. You probably have an astigmatism. Okay, so that is not neither nearsighted nor farsighted, or it's kind of both, but it's a special thing. You have a writing sign about that this week.
How come like domes are blind like they're actually changing?
I don't know. I would try to say there's some proteins that are no longer in there. Go ahead.
Are people born with like cataracts? Some people are born.
Their lens just didn't function. The lens didn't form properly.
So like, you know how when you're looking at both your eyes, your brain fills up the part that.
We're going to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that today. I don't want to talk
about the eye.
I don't want to talk about that today. We're going to talk about that tomorrow in the lab. Okay. For concave lenses, okay, because if you're nearsighted, it's in front of the retina. So your concave lenses correct the problem. People that get headaches when I get a headache, so I don't wear my glasses, okay. I get a headache because my focal point is behind my retina, okay. Same thing for people that are in front of it. But my brain knows this, so my brain is sending impulses to my eye to fix this, okay, and my eye can't fix it, okay. So my eye, you're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You get a headache because you're overworking your eye. Okay, so that's why your headache occurs, because you're overworking that eye. People that vision is good, you focus on it, boom, you're there. We'll also do another part of the activity tomorrow is changing your focal point and with your vision. Yes, sir.
So, think about baseball. When you're hitting a ball, when a pitcher releases the ball and it comes closer and closer to you, your eyes adjust
Yes.
that quick.
Yes. Yes. Your eyes, yes. Well, that's going to be kind of an activity tomorrow. Not at that rate, but yes. Okay. That's why people are talking about having good hand-eye coordination. Okay. Their impulses are occurring very quickly, so they can see that, and then they can also, your brain can see what your eyes convert your eye signal, and then tell your hands what to do. So here's just pictures of this. Okay. So normal vision. Here's the focal point. Okay. Here's the focal point. It's right there on the retina. The retina is the inner lining of the eye, okay, made up of cells. Nearsighted, here's the focal point, it's in front of it, okay, and your brain's probably going to try to fix it and want to go back there. And farsightedness, it's behind. It's the focal point's back here. Typically, a big problem with if you're nearsighted or farsighted, it can be a lens problem, and also can be a shape of your eye. Okay, I would say if I pulled out enough sheep eyes, the shapes would be different of them. Okay, then the shapes would affect where the focal points are.
This might be a really dumb question, but has there been a case where anybody's seen anything that's like now?
I don't know. I would probably say so. I mean, yet not everything like dyslexia. Dyslexia is seeing things, backwards or upside down. Okay, so maybe at a small scale for sure. Okay, I don't know about it on a large scale. I would say that there probably has been somebody. Okay, but I would say it's very rare. But dyslexia is a common thing. Like my sister's very bad dyslexia, so she sees like, some people just see certain letters. Some people read upside down. It's harder to see.
Could you be born with your eye like upside down?
I don't think so.
It's
But the
blocked.
circle, so like,
Yeah.
come on,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
know.
Well, yeah, but also like, so say you turn over and your head's hanging down, and you're looking that way, it's still upside down, right?
Typically your brain.
So if your eye was split.
Yeah. I don't know.
you would-
I mean, it's a very rare case. Okay, so why do objects have color? Okay, an object is the color. We talked about this already. An object is the color because it's the color that it reflects. White's the reflection of all colors. Black's the absorbing of all colors. That's why typically people talk about a while ago with the blue eyes. They are reflecting more light, not absorbing as much, so they have a harder time seeing. They're more harder time seeing. They're more sensitive to light. Black things that in the summertime, black things get hotter. Okay, darker things get hotter because they absorb all colors. White is reflected by all colors. And a filter is something that transmits one or more color of light. My child loves to get her little magnet thing and look, oh, look, Daddy, everything's pink. And hold it to her eye. Only pink can pass it through.
So, people with blue eyes, do they have a harder time like seeing blue?
No, it's just the seeing doesn't matter. That when we're talking about rods and cones, it's just they're more sensitive to light. Like I don't ever wear sunglasses ever. My wife had green eyes and she's very sensitive to the light. Too much sunlight, so she needs something to dim the amount of light there.
What color are your glasses?
Brown, green. Well, no, your eye color can change. Eye color is known to change as you get older.
Yeah, my son's the one with the gray eyes.
Yeah, I don't know the green, brown, kind of dark.
Is-
Two components of the retina, and this really gets me to talk about seeing color. It's how you see a color. There are two components of the retina. They are rods and cones. Okay, you're going to look up the number of rods and cones that are in your eye. I will tell you it's a very large number, like one of them in the millions. Okay, the number of cones or rods you have in your eyes. Okay.
There's 50 million.
No, not that big. Your cones allow you to see color. Okay, cones allow you to see color. There are three types of cones: red cones, green cones, blue cones. They are also known as S, M, and L cones. Okay, small wavelength. Red's the small. Roy G. Biv. Red's the smallest. Going through there. Green would be in the middle, and then blue would be the end. Yes, sir.
There's my red cone see too much green.
Yes. There's an overlapping with that. So those are also known as S, M, and L. Now, if you only have three cones, how do you see more than three colors? Yeah, there's millions of these. So what combination are they on? How many of them are activated and things like that? Okay.
So are those like actually the only prime colors?
Of light. There's a difference between primary colors of light and primary pigments. Okay. There's a difference between that. Okay. So your cones allow you to see color S, M, and L. Some people that are very much colorblind, they cannot see. Maybe they don't have a red cone. Okay. So they can't see the color red. Okay. It would just be like, it would be even if it's not a red thing, like he would still see Charles' shirt as being blue. Okay. If they're red cones, they don't have to be red cones. Or it would see like at a grayscale. Okay. Like a grayscale, black and white. A rod, okay, your rods are there. Okay. They are sensitive to dim light and they allow you to see at night. So it's, someone just asked if you didn't have a red cone, everything in there would just kind of give you like an outline of a shape in a grayscale typically. So your rods and cones are the components of your retina. They allow you to see light. Okay, they allow you to see light. Any questions about rods and cones? Remember S, M, and L. If you look it up on Google, I think it gives you S, M, and L. Okay, that's red being S, green being
What
M.
happens if someone has more than
They can't.
that?
So when you see a rainbow and you can get this device, I can see like everything, every color.
Every color of the rainbow, yeah. Prism allows you to see every color of the rainbow. That's just how they're activated.
No, I'm saying like every color, like including ultraviolet to infrared.
Those aren't necessarily what's called colors, okay? And ultraviolet's not considered a color of light, okay? No, it is a wavelength of light. The visible light spectrum are your colors, Roy G. Biv.
Yeah,
Roy G.
but do rainbows have like ultraviolet in them?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, well, ultraviolet light comes from the sun, so it is the light, the visible light that we see that's being refracted. We can't see ultraviolet light.
Yeah, I know.
Now we can refract it, change the speed into those different wavelengths that we can see. Different animals can see different, different animals can see different things. Like deer can't see orange. Okay, a deer can't see orange. So that's why you wear orange when you go deer hunting. A duck, on the other hand, has a lot. Their ability to see colors is very much
It's
detailed.
incredible.
Yes, and so that's why when you're it's more imperative to be camouflage when you're duck hunting. Okay.
Corey, he had a camouflage hat and like a camouflage outfit. Well, on his hat, it had a small writing in it, orange. And every time the birds would come to them,
Well,
they would see it and go away.
one of the things that ducks can actually see almost easier than anything else is the color white. The color white. That's why if you ever go duck hunting, they tell you not to look at the duck with your eyes, or you wear a cap, try to cover up the white of your eyes. So color blindness occurs when one or more sets of cones do not function properly or not function at all. 8% of males and 0.5% of females have some sort of color blindness. This is because of genetics. Okay, the chromosome, the genes for seeing color would be on your X chromosome. Okay, would be on, and it's a recessive trait. Talk about that next year in biology. Recessive means it doesn't show up unless there's nothing, unless it's the only thing there. It is on your X chromosome. So why would females be a lot less likely to be colorblind than males?
They don't have that.
But that's a former biology student.
X and Y.
A male is an X or XYs. Okay, a male has one X and one Y chromosome. Okay, the X being the female, the Y being the male. A female has what? Two X chromosomes. So that's what. So if it's recessive, if a male has it,
Yeah, but that's only 1 out of 23.
what?
That's only like
But it's a different. It's a mutation that occurs in that. It's some type of it, not complete. Okay, so it's in that. So if a male is colorblind, okay, if a male is colorblind, and they have a male son, the male son is not going to be colorblind because you would pass the Y chromosome down. Then the female daughter would have a 50% chance of being independent, whether the mother is or not. Carries the gene. So it's on because it has anything to do with genetics, okay? It is on the X chromosome. Mixing colors is what you tried to talk about a while ago. There are 3 primary colors of light: red, green, and blue. Okay. Those are our 3 cones too, aren't they? We know that light is additive. Okay. We know that all light adds up to make what color? White. All light combined makes white. If you don't know that, look up at the light. It looks white. There are 3 pigments. Okay. There are 3 primary pigments. Okay. Magenta, cyan, and yellow. Okay. That's like a pink, kind of like a bluish color, and then a yellow color. Okay. They're subtractive colors. We all know this. Pigments are things that are used to color things. If we get all the markers together and we color them all together, what color are you going to make? Black. Okay. And any question about what we talked about today?
So